Hi there, everyone. This is Mark, or well, MKJR, whatever you want to call me. And today I'm just going to go over an overview of the new 24 Honda Santa Fe. Honda Santa Fe, midsize SUV. So for Explorer, Chevy, Equinox, competes against the Outback and a lot of cars that are almost like they're between a RAV4 and a Highlander. And it's kind of a weird space because sometimes you think, well, a Highlander is that, and then you have, yeah, they kind of merge all together. A lot of cars in the compact to midsize and full size SUVs are kind of tiptoeing on each other. This is now a 3-row SUV, which you may think, okay, it's a larger side. Well, the Tesla Model Y. A compact SUV, be sure, especially with the teardrop rear end, that's a 3-row SUV as well. So the context, it's just smaller than the full-size ones. Honestly, we don't know by how much, and honestly, probably not that much. People enjoy pretty big vehicles. This is just slightly smaller. But hey, it's kind of just molding into their X5. BMW X5 does a 3-row SUV thing as well, so sizing kind of complicated. This car is not fully released with information. That's coming out with August. Companies do this for multiple media cycles. However, Hyundai's engine systems, at least non-electric ones, or well, most of the time in general, besides the recalls, aren't much to brag home about. They're usually a place where they save money, and they just cover it under the warranty. They don't have the worst powertrains in the world. They do have some issues, and probably more issues than others, especially with the security stuff. They prioritize certain things, like styling. This thing looks great. So everyone calls it a Defender, and honestly, yeah, it does look like a Land Rover product. It looks sharp, angular. It has its own unique Hyundai retro futuristic cyberpunk kind of scheme, something that could come like from the 80s modernized to something today. The whole profile of the thing in the front end is gorgeous in my opinion. The fake pillars that are well, actually could be real pillars, but they just paint it there for styling across the gloss back. Those help give it more of a SUV truck feel, like think of like a Tahoe or something like that. Without that, it looks more of a wagony, more sedan that's just a hatchback. This separates it in a way where it gives that angular depth, or lack of depth, that straight up look, even though it's probably not that straight. It has to be curved for aerodynamics, and with their hybrids and plug-in stuff like that, they do care about this for this car. I digress. It looks more truck-like, or well, SUV-like, adventure, lifestyle. That's the whole theme of SUVs nowadays. They want to look outdoorsy. They want to look tough. They want to look cool. They want to look... Well, they want you interested in buying it, obviously. And this looks great. Hyundai has become a bit of a design studio, in my opinion. This looks a lot like a concept car back in the day. If you show me a picture of this in 2015, 2012... would have never believed that's a real car coming out. But now that's just how it is. The rear end has gotten a lot of flack. And the problem is with the rear end is that on the Defender or other SUV designs that do the tallness, they have, Cadillac has, for example, skyscraper taillights that go straight up and down. These are on the bottom, kind of like where a bumper would be, kind of old style look, and it makes the end on the bottom look shrunken and the top up a bit more. So think of like a bodybuilder with a little waist strap on. They all kind of bulky up there. It doesn't look great, doesn't look amazing, but it still looks fine in my opinion. Some people think it's a bit of a deal breaker. You have these H's just looking at the ground and a big old dorky forehead. It's obviously the worst angle of the car, no doubt, but it's a overall attractive car. Now, versus a Defender that is compared to, it has a lot of similar design cues. So we'll look at the Defender right here. It has similar sharpness, does different little peaks of it with the color panels, making up right. I think the Defender obviously looks much better, especially with the tire on the back. This design right here. Pull it up. Where'd it go? No, this design right here, begging for a tire. This should have a tire on the rear, would really sell the design. Too bad the only way you're going to do that is with a hitch on the bottom and pulling up there, and it's going to have that little gap. It's not going to look OEM, and it's unfortunate. But if they put a tire on the rear, that's what this is missing. It would be a perfect design, even though it's bit copycat, a little bit there, inspired by Land Rover, but that's fine. I mean, I don't think anyone that was buying that, well, I think anyone that was considering buying that based off its looks should probably consider this. Better warranty, way better reliability, especially electronics, even if you give it the worst reputation for engines and so on and so forth, which I don't think it deserves the worst reputation. This would still be statistically better off than do the Land Rover product, unfortunately for Land Rover. They have copied designs. This is a very reminiscent on the Ioniq 6, very reminiscent of the Porsche 911, the two-spoiler kind of look, this whole taillight design. We can tell where they're getting influence from, but I don't think that's a bad thing. Hyundai has had an issue with identity. Back in the mid-10s, the teens, Kia, like the Optima, was like pretty desirable from my memory back in the day because it was really sharp and aggressive looking. It was like a more discount Audi kind of thing going on, and they were renowned by how cool they were looking. At least for younger crowds like myself, we thought they looked great, or at least most people seemed to like them. And Hyundais were the more floaty, continuous design, like runny egg design. Now with this retro cyberpunk style, this is a way that I think they should go with all their products. They have that Hyundai sports car concept. Here it is. So this thing right here, the power of the Envision. If you if you have had a web browser at work or any generic news showing up, you've probably seen this in pictures here and there. It is a beloved look that people are very much interested in. And they should really go with the design. And this is hopefully the future of their design going forward. And that's what we see in here, Santa Fe. Okay, looks good. Powertrain, expected to be similar to the previous ones. Still going to be the 2.5 liter. Big 4-cylinder, like 280 horsepower. And it got 28 mpg highway. Didn't actually get that. Most cars don't actually get their numbers. Probably low, mid-20s, maybe like 24 or something like that. But they have the hybrid, plug-in hybrid. This was 30-something, got 36 mpg. Pretty good efficiency for a car going around day in, day out. I don't think anyone's really going to care about the dynamics that much. This isn't a rear-wheel drive or dedicated four-wheel drive with lockers. You know, this is just a front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, typical vehicle that looks very impressive. That's what it is. Most people aren't really going to care about the suspension setup. If it had locking diffs, I will eat my own shoe, but it's probably not going to have anything like that. However, looks great. Looks performance-wise, or looks off-road performance-wise. Good. So, interior. Another thing. It looks awesome. It's okay. Well, it looks okay. It doesn't look like super futuristic in the sense of like out of this world, like Alien. It is a very classy take on an interior. It's very Germanic-like, and of course, Land Rover. Everyone's going to bring the Land Rover interior, Range Rover interior. Here's it right here. Had it already lined up. Not exactly the same. This is a little bit more smooth, but the Land Rover Defender interior, well, the shift knob is somewhere else, but the overall kind of design or philosophy, you can see that there could be some inspiration. Hot take, I think they did it better. People will really much say how nice Range Rovers are and Land Rovers are. I worked in a mechanic shop growing up a lot, and the materials were fine, pretty good leather and stuff like that, and it was built well, like screwed together well. But well, in a lot of cases, but not always. Very unreliable vehicles, though. That's what everyone says. Unless you're really into it, unless you have a very strong urge for it, there's a price tag to make you pay for that urge for it. You're not going to get it. This car gives you that look and feel. And right here, soft touch wood trim. So the veneer, probably fake wood, made out of wood, made out of plastic trees. Napa leather seating, Napa leather. So for people that don't know about leathers, that's a better leather. So for even luxury car brands, they make you upgrade the leather. So they have their synthetic leathers and they go up. Napa is on some very high end. Dodge products doesn't sound great when you say it like that, but we're talking about the Chargers and actually I think it's the Chrysler 300 on high end Chrysler products. Sometimes Subaru does it. Hyundai is doing it with this, and also other cars that use Napa leather interiors. Corvettes use it. Well, if you know the history of Corvettes, then you may be like, well, I don't know. There's luxury cars that use Napa leather as a option. So mid-high trim, there's other types of leathers that are comparable that like BMW upgrades to from their base one, for example, or and also Mercedes-Benz does a similar thing. Typically, you can tell by the texture of it, the feel, it's a little bit more rough. It's a little bit more, it doesn't feel like plasticky, but it's not smooth like nice leather like you have on a boot on furniture. This is like nice furniture, nice boots, like genuinely decent leather. Why does that matter at all with the materials? Because Hyundai has been very good at designs, materials across the whole thing with the wood veneer, maybe out of plastic trees, maybe actually veneer. Napa leather, so generally good leather all around on all these touch surfaces. And typically they do a good point on the headliner, steering wheel, so on and so forth. You're going to get in this, and you're going to look like a Land Rover, have that style, and you're going to get inside of it. You're going to have that design of that angular, rough, trucky-like look with great materials all around, feeling premium, and you're not going to pay, well, you're not going to pay as much as a Land Rover, and you're not going to have the downsides of the reliability. And the generally powertrains are better. They're more, better performance, but you're not getting that much out of it. So you're getting a very good interior, very angular. It's, they're giving you a lot for what you pay for. You're going to be not getting the best stuff when it comes to maybe the suspension, powertrains, stuff like that. But you're paying for the very nice interior. The Hyundais have done very impressive interiors for the price point. So that, like, $50,000 versus an 80, 100 something grand Land Rover product. With an interior that honestly may be better. Because sometimes the materials on Land Rover are like generally supposed to be more rugged. Like this is a fold down middle seat. They've done this design. See, there's little screws in the door. They've done that on purpose. Some harder touch stuff makes you feel like you could wash it down with the hose, right? This will actually probably have a nicer interior. Can't guarantee that, especially for the higher trims of the Land Rover. I put money on them, but for most trims that people would buy versus the top end of this, I think this is better off. Design with the steering wheel is very much reminiscent of Land Rover, Range Rover designs as well. So, the third row. I think it'll actually be usable. SUVs have grown over the years. Well, all cars have, really. So, this is a bit more, full size of yesteryear and now mid-size today. This is a picture of the interior, kind of mocked up, flat folding seats. I don't know how much leg space you're going to have in the third row. Hopefully it's enough space to fit a car seat. Sometimes with the third rows, they don't actually have the anchors. That's going to be kind of a make or break for the functionality of that. Because if you don't have a big third row, that can be okay. Because you can fit a dog in it. You can fit stuff. You can fit someone in a pinch. But the best person to put in one of those, like booster seat, child seat, is right there. They don't really need the leg room. As long as you're in a safe position. Sometimes you're supposed to put, a certain age, a certain part of the car. But for packaging reasons, for a road trip or for people going over in the vehicle, going around. If you can fit a jumper seat, car seat, third row, perfectly usable in my opinion, even if it's tiny. Don't know. The packaging of this should be pretty well. It's very angular. There's no swoopy lines breaking up the roof. Very big, expansive sunroof right there. A lot of light. So sunroof and panoramic in the back. It has plenty of space. So the Hyundai Santa Fe looks good in and out. Looks like a discount Land Rover, Range Rover product. Pretty good buttons. Space right here has the same false center console, or not center console, the tunnel. The Range Rover has it as well, so right there. So they both have that design. It's significant. And the size looks pretty good. Powertrains, 280 horsepower and up. Front-wheel drive base platforms with all drive. Hybrid, plug-in hybrid. So 20 mpg, 36 mpg, or better with mixed driving with there. These things before start at 28 grand, probably low 30s now, maybe 34, 35, honestly, for low trim with cloth, all around without all this nice stuff. And you go up there, it's going to be in the low mid 50s for sure. Maybe touching 60 at the high end. I don't think they're going to go that high end because you're touching well into the full-size SUVs, but how nice this vehicle is, how they do materials, how they do like heated rear seats, heated and cool front seats, all the features they have, I think it's pretty nice. Again, this is a car that's more about design, more about selling you an image versus what it really is. What it really is underneath is just pretty okay SUV drivetrain, at least compared to last year. This one might be quite a bit better, but the money goes somewhere, right? For this looks in the interior. So you're getting a pretty middle of the road driving experience car underneath with a very good warranty, though, 10-year, 100,000 miles, and a very nice interior and a pretty looking exterior. May not age the best because there's going to be so many around them and the specialness will wear off, but this is a nice vehicle to get in there to make you feel like you spent your money well, especially when it's new and it's hot. So anyways, that's about it for the Santa Fe. This is going to come up with more information. I would check up on people actually driving the vehicle and seeing their impressions and seeing if it is actually more substantial than some previous Hyundai products. But if not, my input is relevant as it is for the other Hyundai products for the most part, besides like the end stuff that's very, very good. But pretty good look SUV, very good, very, very good interior and exterior design. Besides the rear, which looks a little weird, just it really needs a rear tire. So anyways, if you like the video, please give it a like. I tried to do more coworker like discussions about cars, kind of what's coming out, some opinions about things, and just kind of ranting about it. So if you like that, please consider subscribing and following around. And if not, I hope you enjoyed yourself and hope you take care. So bye.